Parents, at some point, you're going to have your son or daughter complain to you about playing time or lack thereof. And how each of you responds is going to be imperative. I think we need to encourage our athletes to go earn it. I've yet to meet a coach that wants to lose. I mean, trust me, if you do the right things, your playing time will go up. It's not always immediate, though. I'll share some great examples of that in a second, a couple from our program, even. I really think that's what our kids need to hear today from their parents instead of, Johnny, you're right. I'll call coach. I'll talk to coach. Yeah. He or she is doing you an injustice, or maybe even just talking bad about coach behind their back. Our kids today need to learn how to run their own race, how to fight for it. And you can do that in a positive way as a parent. I support you. Keep working hard. Don't quit. And your time will come. To illustrate my point further, I want to use an example from the Duke men's basketball program. In 1997, two McDonald's All-Americans stepped onto Duke's campus. Shane Battier and Elton Brand, both Mr. Basketball of their respective states. Both players eventually became National Player of the Year at Duke. However, their paths to achievement were quite different. Elton Brand was an immediate impact player. Look at his stats from his first 2 years on campus. Following his second season, Elton Brand was named National Player of the Year and declared for the NBA draft. He was the number 1 pick overall by the Chicago Bulls. Shane Battier had a different path. The more accomplished high school player didn't find immediate success at Duke. Here is his stats from his first 2 seasons. Battier stayed at Duke for his junior and senior years. His production greatly increased. His senior year concluded with being named National Player of the Year. In addition, the Blue Devils were crowned national champs. Following the season, Battier was selected 6th overall in the NBA draft by the Miami Heat. To quote the great Coach K, we tell each player that comes into our program, each of you run your own race, and then collectively we run a team race. If Shane Battier was running Elton Brand's race, he would have been disappointed. Kids come along different. Some faster, then stop. Some slower than fast. Some fast and never stop. Don't gauge yourself on how someone else is doing. Gauge yourself on how you're doing. Our Rocori football program has a couple great examples as well. In 2011, we had a defensive end named Nick Thorpe. He was a heck of a player as a junior, but he had some seniors that were just better in front of him that year. Nick would have started as a junior D-end on almost any other Rocori football team. He didn't pout. He didn't quit. He wasn't a distraction. He didn't talk behind people's backs. He just kept working and preparing for when it would be his time. He played sparingly his junior year, and we went on to win a state championship that year. During Nick's senior year, he was voted a team captain and went on to have one of the best statistical seasons in Rocori's defensive history. His breakout season concluded with a scholarship offer to the University of Minnesota Duluth, and he went on to play 4 years and was named to the All-NSIC team. None of the D linemen that played in front of Nick in 2011 went on to receive scholarship offers or even to play college football for that matter. He didn't compare himself to them. He ran his own race. Another story is the story of Dawson Schmitz. Dawson didn't play his sophomore season and decided to come back out his junior year, which was also during my first year as a head coach. We weren't good as a team that year. He wanted an opportunity to play, like many players want when the team isn't performing. Hey, coach, I can play. I can make us better. Things like that. But Dawson wasn't ready yet to play. During our off-season exit meeting, I helped lay out to Dawson what we needed him to accomplish in the off-season and get better at if he was going to be a starter, something he stated was his goal. Dawson listened very closely to what I told him, and then he trained even more intently. He worked his tail off, checked every box we asked of him, and the rest is history. He went on to start for our 2019 state championship team at D-end. He recorded some huge sacks that game as one of the D linemen that helped us slow down Jalen Suggs in that game. So parents, I strongly encourage you to, let your athletes run their own race. Control what you can control. Controllables consist of your effort, your attitude, your coachability, and work ethic. Uncontrollable things consist of, weather, playing time, what others say, friends and family. If you choose to focus on the uncontrollables, you're running the wrong race.